Guys, today we're going to be doing no wrap ribs on the Ugly Drum Smoker. We're going to take a couple of spare ribs and we're going to do just a regular old backyard trim to it. But I'm going to try something out. I want to try out mustard versus sriracha. We're going to see which one holds better, which one gives a better color, and if it changes any of the flavor. So we're going to be putting mustard as a base on one, sriracha as a base on the other, and hopefully that holds the spices in really well. Again, I said we're going to be doing it no wrap, so stick around. Alright, so we are going to start off, like I said, doing these ribs with a sriracha versus mustard rub to bind our spices. We're going to be using a couple of different layers of rubs, all of the LoneStarBQ rubs. It's going to be the GBP Dust, the LoneStar SPG+, and the Pork and Poultry Sweet Heat. So, I'm going to throw those to the side. Before we start getting them rubbed down, we got to get this opened up and get it trimmed. I like to just open up one side, try to keep everything in the bag as much as possible. But you open them however you want to open them up. I'm not going to be doing a full competition trim on these. I'm just trying to get some flavor profiles in and see which one I like better between the mustard and the sriracha. Usually you can't really taste, or they say you can't really taste your rub binder, but I find that hard to believe because it's on there. It doesn't just disappear. So there has to be some sort of flavor profile that it leaves with the spices. So we're going to start trimming this up while our smoker, our Ugly Drum Smoker, is getting up to temp. We want it to be right around 300 degrees. Again, just a backyard trim up. We're going to get anything loose off of it. This diaphragm, go ahead and take it off of there. All this fat on the back side, it's not going to allow our rub to stick, so we're going to take that off too. Go ahead and take this small flap off the end. That's going to be less for me to trim overall. Just make it easier for me. So I'm going to get all this trimmed up, and then I'll get the skin pulled off of here for that. I'm not going to trim any more off the top though. Like I said, just a backyard. We want to eat as much as we can. We'll cut this part off of this side just because, again, that will slough off and then our rubs won't be able to stick to the actual ribs. Keep just a hair bit of fat on there. You don't want them to be super dry. Again, not a competition rib. Alright, so that one looks decent on that side. Get the rest of this fat off of here. Just the big chunks. This was a fat pig. There's a little bone sticking out right there. It's probably more cartilage than bone, but let's go ahead and cut it off. There we go. Alright, easy enough. Again, Just a backyard trim. Same thing over here. Alright, so I'm going to grab a paper towel. We're going to get these two membranes pulled and then get these rubbed down. We're going to get it popped loose as much as we can to where we can stick our finger in there and get a paper towel grip on it. Beautiful. Hold it with one hand. Really get the thumb underneath there. And sometimes this pulls right off, sometimes it does not. But that one pulled off pretty good. There's a lot of subcutaneous fat there. I'm just going to shave a little bit of that off. Again, just because it's not going to allow my rub to stick. Don't cut into the meat. Just take that subcutaneous fat off. You don't have to take it all off. I just prefer to because I want the rub to be able to adhere better. And again, we're going to be doing one with Sriracha, one with mustard. So let's go ahead and put you over here and wait. And Sriracha is going first. I have a feeling Sriracha is going to have more flavor left to it. I think that mustard leaves a flavor behind it, but it's not really a mustard flavor. It's just a combination of all the spices that you rub it with and the spices in the mustard probably changes the base flavor of it all. So I think you're definitely going to taste probably a difference with changing that base. There's no way you can't because it's all different. It'd be like adding different rubs. So it has to change it. I could be 100,000% wrong, but I'm thinking I'm not. Alright, little garlic butter powder. Not a whole lot, just want enough to get on there to get it a little tacky. Let that butter get a little bit moist and reconstitute. Alright, let's go with some SPG+. A little heavier on this. Alright, press that in. And now, for the one we're actually going to put a regular coat on. Those two were kind of light. This one, we're going to actually do a coat on it. Again, this is our LoneStarBQ Pork and Poultry Sweet Heat. It does have a little bit of kick of heat to it, not a lot, enough that the whole family can enjoy. Let's flip this over and do the top side. Alright, light coat of this. Kind of starts disappearing. It's because that butter is reconstituting and getting down and liquefied. SPG, another lighter coat. Gotta keep this stuff shaken up. I don't put any artificial stuff in my rubs, so if it's humid, it gets kind of clumpy and you got to shake it. Pat it down. Finish it off with the SPG Sweet Heat. Nice coverage, really nice coverage on this side. This is the real meat side, and this is where you want it to be able to get that kick of flavor in. I'm going to finish this bottle off on the top of here, and I've got another bottle handy for the next one. All right. That is looking absolutely gorgeous. All right. We'll put that off kind of the edge there. I put on a fresh pair of gloves because I'm changing from Sriracha to mustard, and I want it, well, that was a fail. Wah, wah, wah. I want this to be a true comparison, so I want to make sure that everything was the same. So we're going to swap bottles here. I ran out of my Sweet Heat. I knew I was going to with the other one, so I've got a fresh bottle here. So shake up the mustard. You don't want mustard water. I'm just going to do the same exact thing I did on the other one. I'm going to cover these with foil, and I'm going to let them sit under foil, keep all the flies off of them while our pit is getting up to temp. Again, we want it right around 300 degrees. I'll see you back here in just a minute. All right, guys, so our temperature's up to 300 degrees. This has been setting in, and you can see the difference already. Mustard, Sriracha. Let's go ahead and get this smoker opened up, get these thrown in there bone side down for the first 30-45 minutes. Okay, so the 45 minutes has been up for the first part of the cook. We checked on them. They're still really wet and really moist, and we want to keep them that way, but we're not going to spritz them or anything like that yet because we don't want to wash any of that rub off. That rub needs to get really nice and set in. That skin needs to tighten up. Then we'll start spritzing it to keep it nice and moist. So we'll check back here in about 30-45 minutes. All right, so these have been on for almost right at an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less, but right close to it. And they're sitting at 300 degrees, 305. And let's take a look and see how they are doing. So they've got really amazing flavor. You can see it starting to tighten up in there. And that's what I'm looking for. I didn't want to spray it with anything before it started looking like that. So I'm in my spray bottle here, my spritz bottle. This is 6 to 7 ounces of apple cider vinegar, 6-7 ounces of water, and then 4 ounces of the old woo-woo sauce, Worcestershire, W sauce, woo-woo sauce. All right, and we're gonna get this bad boy primed up. This is a brand new bottle. I went and bought a brand new bottle for y'all. I mean, it's for me, but I'll say it's for y'all. And get it spritzed down. We don't want to spray so much on there that it's, you know, washing anything off. But we do want to get it wet because, of course, it's got to be moist. Let's cover it back up another 30-45 more minutes. Come out here, check it again. It's been another 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look. So these have been on there for almost 2.5 hours. We've been waiting a little more than 45 minutes between each check, and we're at our third check. So they've been sitting at almost 2.5 hours. There's been a lot of sugar in those rubs, so you're seeing a lot of dark colors. That smoke is really soaked into it. And of course, spraying it with Worcestershire sauce and apple cider vinegar and water helps that. So this is going to be, I'm pretty sure, the last 15 to 20 minutes on the smoker. These things are probably done. Again, these were done at 300, 305 degrees. So they're cooking a lot faster. This is hot and fast cooking. This isn't low and slow because that sucks. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't suck. It just sucks for me because I don't have time to do that kind of stuff. I wish I had the time and a little better equipment to do that kind of thing. But for me, hot and fast works. And it gets smoke in there, it gets flavor in there, it's juicy, it's moist, and it's delicious. So we're going to let these sit for about 15-20 minutes, slide them off, cut them up, and see which one tastes better, Sriracha or mustard. Alright, so the final few minutes, these have been sitting on and they are done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them off of here, get them thrown on the table, slice them up, and we're going to figure out which binder's better, Sriracha or mustard. Pulling off Sriracha first. We'll keep that one to the left. And our mustard. Mustard on the right, Sriracha on the left. Alright, let's get these sliced up again. I have the Sriracha on my left, your right, and the mustard on my right, your left. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few cuts on these ribs. So let's have a taste. We've got Sriracha binder, mustard binder. Really good. I got a kick of the spiciness at the very, very end. Can't really taste it, but you get a hint of that spiciness at the very end, that Sriracha flavor and spice at the very, very end. It's kind of cool how it kicks in there at the very end. So let's try our mustard. I know mustard isn't going to give me a kick of anything at the end, so let's just see. I kind of do get a mustardy taste. That vinegary, mustardy taste. Not really the apple cider vinegar we sprayed on it, but you do actually get kind of a mustardy taste. It's not bad. Next time we do ribs, we're going to do our regular competition style ribs, and I'll probably do the Sriracha because we throw honey and brown sugar and all that good stuff on there when we wrap it, keep all that moisture in. and so that Sriracha is going to really balance all of that out really well. So make sure you're sticking around. Drink more water.